Stillness is a superpower. When we're faced with challenging life situations, when there's stress, chaos, and turbulence in our life, stillness offers a really stable place to rest our awareness. It helps us be more present in the moment, helps us feel a sense of peace and clarity inside, and a deeper sense of connection to ourselves and to other people. Now, by contrast, when we lack stillness and faced with those same life-challenging situations, we tend to react more emotionally. We create stories and dramas that amplify things and make everything feel worse than they actually are. And that ultimately creates more stress, more anxiety, and overwhelm. And if you've ever reflected on your own life experience, you know that to be true. You know that when you're fueled by emotion, that emotion fuels your thoughts. Those thoughts fuel more emotion, more intense emotions, and more intense emotions, more intense thoughts. But everything you think in that moment, that emotionally fueled state, you feel completely justified. But that doesn't mean it's right. Because when you calm down, afterwards, if you reflect, you usually recognize that you didn't really mean what you said or did, because you could see that you were fueled by those emotions. Now, it's important that we don't judge the emotions as good or bad, but we do need to understand the effect of our emotions on our state of mind and our actions. We also need to understand the effect of stillness, and I'm going to talk about those. But first, what is stillness? Stillness is an experience. It's not something our mind can properly make sense of, because it's something beyond our ordinary thinking mind. But it is definitely something that we can feel. And when we feel it, it changes the very foundation of how we experience life. Have you ever watched a sunset? When we observe a sunset, when we witness it, that time leading up just before the sun drops below the horizon, and afterwards, we can feel this quietening of nature. It's like a stillness emerging out of nature, and we feel it, and it can be moving. We can feel it in our heart. It's almost like something in nature, this stillness, is calling to us. So it's a very tangible feeling, and it moves us and it affects us. So stillness is an experience. But what can this do for us? What does it bring to our life? Well, stillness brings clarity. Now let's take the example of a body of water. Let's say a lake. Now when the water of that lake is perfectly still, it offers a perfect reflection of the surrounding landscapes. But when that body of water is not still, when it's disturbed or it's moving, then we don't have that reflection. It lacks clarity. Now the same is true for our mind. When our mind is fluctuating, when it's moving and it's upset or it's emotional, then it lacks clarity. Everything we experience is through that filter. So nothing is clear. But when our mind becomes still, then we have clarity. We see through the filters of our emotional upheavals or traumas and fears. When it's still, we have clarity. Now, stillness also brings stability. Like this lighthouse, in the face of crashing waves and the stormy seas, it remains stable and still. Regardless of the chaos around it, it doesn't move. Now, the same principle is true for our mind. When our mind is not still, then we tend to react emotionally to triggers, to situations, to people. We react to the thoughts in our own mind. Now, when we have stillness, firstly, that quietens our mind, but then this stillness means that we're not reacting to external situations. So in the face of chaos and turbulence in the world, we can be still, remain still inside, and that is a stability. And if you consider yourself a highly sensitive person, then the stillness brings stability to your sensitivity. So if you're normally overstimulated and find it hard being in groups of people, loud events, just overly stimulated by your sensitivity, then stillness is the solution, because sensitivity is never the problem. It's only how we react to it. But with stillness, it brings a stable center from which to use your sensitivity. So it's like your sensitivity can be wielded. Like stillness, it's a superpower. But unless we have that stable center, it feels like sensitivity is wielding you instead of you wielding it. Stillness also brings connection. It helps us feel more connected to other people and to ourselves. Because remember, when we lack stillness and our mind is reacting emotionally, it disconnects us from other people. It makes us feel separate. That's one of the effects of our emotions, disconnection. And that puts us into a state of you versus me. And that's the foundation for conflict. So to heal conflict, to bring this sense of togetherness back, sense of connection, stillness is the solution. When we have that stillness inside, it opens our heart, puts us more in touch with our heart and the parts of us that feel connected. And that brings a sense of us. And this is so important going forward, not just for us as individuals, but us as humanity together. We need to feel this connection, and the world needs people who can hold stillness, because stillness really is a superpower. And in this sense, we can bring it to other people. When we hold stillness for someone that might be emotional or traumatized or upset, holding stillness can sometimes bring even more than words. Words can be great, but a presence of stillness is deeply holding and nurturing. So use your superpower. Use stillness to help others by anchoring it in yourself. And remember, when you anchor stillness within yourself, you not only bring more peace into your own life, but you help to anchor a little more peace into the world. Stillness is always there in the background of our experience, but our mind is usually too busy to recognize it. And if we can't recognize it, then we can't rest on it. We can't use it or tap into it. But when we do, then it changes the very foundation of how we experience life. Because instead of chaos and turbulence of our mind and our reactions to the world, we have a foundation of stability, of clarity, and connection to ourself, to our heart, and to other people. But it's important to remember that if we don't train ourselves to know stillness, then when the chaos and turbulence of everyday situations and life comes, stillness will be hard to find. So we need to train ourselves now to know stillness. So invest in finding stillness, cultivating your personal relationship to stillness so that it will be there for you for the rest of your life. Now, how do we find stillness? Well, nature is one of the greatest teachers. Spend time in nature, but listen, feel the stillness of nature, especially at sunrise and sunset. As the day moves into night, you can feel the emerging stillness. Just let your body feel it. Feel how your heart responds. Now, another powerful way is meditation. Meditation really is this training for your mind, where we build this personal relationship to stillness. It's a deep, intimate relationship that we cultivate through the stillness of meditation. Now, I have various resources on my website, peacekeeperproject.com. And this is one of the reasons why I created the Peacekeeper Project, to help us find more peace. And that comes with a foundation of stillness. So take some time to check out my website. Again, that's peacekeeperproject.com, and discover the many resources I have both free and paid, that'll help you cultivate your personal relationship to stillness, to cultivate your superpower. I have free guided meditations, I have a free online course, an introduction to meditation, and I also offer live meditations. These are also free. And these are opportunities to connect in stillness around the world together. And you're invited to join any of these at any time. I also have a more comprehensive 21-day meditation and mindfulness online course, Finding Stillness. With daily video lessons, meditations, and mindfulness practices, this is a 3-week journey that will take you step by step to find stillness, to cultivate it in yourself, and integrate it into your daily life. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your presence. Now, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it so that other people can also be inspired to find their superpower, stillness. And be sure to subscribe so you can be notified when I release new videos. All right, go ahead and find stillness. And let's make the world a more peaceful and connected place.